don't know how many of you have siblings where you ask them to do something and they don't do it, and they're stubborn, and you have to kind of like bribe them or kind of threaten them, like, oh, you're not gonna be able to see your friend or play outside because you didn't do what I asked, you know? It's kind of like holding a gun to the kids, kind of sort of like threatening them. You can get further with a kind word and a gun than you can with just a kind word. People normally don't do things unless they're kind of like pushed to do it. Say for instance, like drug lords. Let's say you know, they usually I forgot his name. Don't know why, but he contributed to his community. Pablo Escobar. He contributed to his community with the drug money that he had. Most people, he was running for mayor and stuff. Most people appreciated him and really cared for him in his community. Then all of a sudden, people started saying other runners for mayor were starting to sort of point out that he was benefiting their community with drug money, and sort of like throwing low blows, I guess. Finally it got to the point where he was just fed up, and he was like, all right, if you're gonna label me as a bad guy, I guess I'm gonna have to do things like a bad guy. And he got a lot of things done with his authoritative sort of way of kind of, not necessarily, well, yeah, pointing gun at people, I guess. It's kind of weird that nowadays, like, the only way to get things done and to benefit our community is through violence and sort of like people are let's just say people are lazy, and they don't do things on their own unless they're kind of forced to. So in conclusion, just do things. Just do things on your own. Don't let other people sort of have this sense of authority over you, because you can't get any further just a kind of.
All right, I thought you started off pretty well with good audience contact and facial expressions that seemed like you were engaging folks. When you got stuck a little bit as you're moving from your thesis to the main part of the speech, there's a long pause, and I think you're aware that your fluency suddenly stops. After that, for a period of time, we get a whole bunch of ums and ers, the kind of vocalized pauses that you want to be careful of. I know you're thinking to yourself and you're doing it out loud. That's why you do those kinds of things, to give yourself an extra prompt to make it feel like you are still moving forward, even though you are stuck for a second. If you have a clearer organizational pattern in your head, you're going to be better off. I think you've got one example that you're talking about and you go into it in some good detail, but it doesn't really feel like you have as clear a plan, and I think that's one of the reasons why you end up having so many ums in the early part of the speech. It's easy to hear you speak up well, and I think there's very good inflection in your voice, but like I said, the rhythm is a little bit off. Your eye contact is excellent, even when you do get stuck a little bit. You've got nervous feet. They're moving just a little more than you want. Sometimes they're deliberate, thoughtful, stepping forward, that kind of thing, but often it's just maybe a little bit of anxiety coming out. And be careful with the little page, a piece of paper in your hand. You pass it back and forth to yourself dozens of times during the speech. Probably best to get it out of your hands once you've got the topic in your mouth and you say it. Then you don't need to have it in your hands anymore. All right, thank you.